Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being accommodating and working with us on our space today. As you see, we've had another little issue in our training room, but we're working through it. We're working through it. So, what happened? What happened to it? Oh, okay, got it. Y'all, different conversation. Well, last week when Noah sent the ark, we sprung a little bit of a leak in the training room again. But we've talked to people, and they have a plan, and it should be fixed Thursday. And then we have some more rain coming up next week, so they'll put it to the test and make sure it works. So here we are. Kind of reminds me of old times in the old building, because we had that little cutout over there. So welcome. I'm glad you all are here today. For risk management this morning, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Thing number one that I want to talk about is, what is the right way to do a referral agreement? This has happened multiple times in the past like month and a half. What is the best way and the right way to do a referral agreement? Anyone want to share? Fill out a referral form and get it in writing first, right? Before what? Before you give them the contact information. And if you do get the contact information and you have the referral form filled out, make sure that you keep it and you don't lose it, or you don't delete your emails where it might be, and really print out a copy of it, just to make sure that you're good to go and you know for sure that you have it, so that if anything ever comes of a dispute or anything like that, you have that paper and you can just send it right on over there.
I thought we had to have that in our loop anyway, so why?
It does need to be in your loop, absolutely. But if you've sent it to another company, and let's say that you've sent it to something outside of Keller Williams, maybe you sent it to Remax in Tyler, or you sent it to Berkshire Hathaway in Corpus Christi. That's not an internal referral inside of Kelly. So if it was Kelly, it wouldn't be a big deal, because we have a digital record that a referral agreement's been signed, and we can just log in and look at that anytime and see what's going on with it. But if it's outside of the company, it's on an actual piece of paper, and maybe you lost the paper or something like that, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm helping a couple of our agents right now work through this issue, because one of them, the email got deleted. They did send it, and now they're saying, unless you can send us a copy of the original one, we're not paying you, which is awfully nice of them. But
was that a Keller Williams agent?
It was not a Keller Williams agent. It was somebody outside of Keller Williams. If it was a Keller Williams agent, I'd just call their team leader immediately and say, come on, man, what's going on? But now I've got to work through the broker and have fun with it. So the reason the referral agreements are signed on the front end is the same reason we have team agreements, because it's all sunshine and rainbows at the beginning, and then sometimes there's a storm that comes up, and it's not as fun. Or in a referral agreement, after you've already been paid and you maybe forgot there was a referral, it's a little harder to cut the check after you've already put the money in your account and spent it. So just make sure you're doing the referral agreements on the front end before you send the contact information over. It's so much easier that way. Next thing, yeah?
I got on a referral from another Keller Williams agent or broker, on the back of their referral form.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted all the information up front before they signed the agreement.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
I
that.
didn't do it.
I wouldn't do that, even if it is a Keller Williams agent. Even if it's somebody in the same market center, I still wouldn't give them the contact information before you agree on something. That's why we have Kelly and we have the referral network now, because we can send them the referral that has no contact information on it at all. We can put in their approximate price point of $350,000 to $450,000 and 25%. And say, would you be willing to accept this referral? They click yes or no. If they click yes, then it'll send them the contact information. If they click no, it won't. Or we can send it up to, you could send it to really up to 100 people if you wanted to broadcast a referral. And then I promise you, you're probably going to have 99 responses saying, yes, I want the referral. In which case, you get to then pick which one you want. Or you could send it to 3 people and then let them decide, and then you can call each one of them and decide if they're going to work best with your client. And I would encourage you to do it through the digital side of things first now, because it gives us a immediate place where we can go back to and show, yeah, you did agree to this referral, and here's what it says you were willing to pay, or here's what it says you were willing to give.
You do it in Kelly?
You can do it through Kelly. You can also do it through KW Connect, and when you click on the referral tab up at the top, you can click right there and send it that way. So let's say that you were looking for a referral agent in Pasadena, California. You just type in Pasadena, California there, and then you can select how you want to search them. You can search by production, you can search by closed units, or you can search by bold graduates, you can search by ALC members. However you want to search on there, you can take care of it that way.
Because I had trouble, I was trying to do one recently in
Okay.
Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and all it gave me was Appleton, KW's site did.
Let's sit down and look at that and see what we can figure out. Because there's,
So I Googled it, and of course I found Keller Williams, you know, good old Google, it comes through.
the good old Google, or as some people say, GTS. Google that stuff. Yeah. Any, you know somebody in Oshkosh? I thought it was just a clothing company for kids, but. All right. Any other questions on referrals?
Scott, I think
Yeah.
worth bringing up
Yeah.
for the new folks, a mistake that I recently made was when you do your green sheet, make sure you fill out the referral information.
Yes, yes.
Because you will get that disbursement, and
Yes.
it will not send the referral
Yeah.
to the other agent. So.
And it always stinks to have to go back and correct it,
Yeah.
thinking that, oh man, I was going to get that. Oh wait, no, it went down. So on the referral form, just at the very least put it in the notes that there is a referral attached to it for whatever percentage and to whom the referral is supposed to go to. And then we have to make sure that we have a W-9 on file, but Ryan takes care of all that stuff. So, yeah. Any other questions about referrals? Yes, ma'am.
Nuts and bolts for you that are new. If you have a system to track incoming or outgoing referrals or business, on the very top line, if you'll put referral yes or no, and then name and contact information. And I have that two places in my referral sheet, which I'd be happy to share with you.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes that mind
Clear.
go back and recheck, make sure that you have entered them into the loop and all that.
What's the best referral form to use? We don't care, just have one. Yeah, I mean, if it's on the back of a napkin and you've agreed to a percentage and the clients and you both have signed it, we'll take it if we have to. But yeah, Shane.
On the KW referral form,
Yeah.
if you are the receiving agent, who technically needs to sign on the bottom right where it says receiving broker?
I can sign for it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Disregard my email from this morning.
It's all good. I saw that you did email me and I haven't gotten to it yet, so yeah.
But I've
We're
also
good.
had Donna sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Donna can sign for it as well.
Sign that too?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're designated officers on behalf of the broker. Yeah. So, and then sometimes they'll be kind of sticklers about it if you're doing a referral agreement from, maybe you're doing it with like Cardis or you're doing it with a relocation company. Sometimes they'll absolutely want it to be the broker of record that signs it, and we can make that happen for you as well.
Can I just DocuSign it to you?
No, you can have Donna stamp it up front,
Okay. Perfect.
or myself. Yeah, we have a stamp.
But the referral sheet I was talking about is your inner system, to where you're reporting what they're looking for, when they need it,
Yeah.
all of that. Put in there a couple times, is this a referral? If so, yes, no, and who it is, contact information. Because it really does help you not
Yeah.
to forget that. Because if you have several deals going at the same time, sometimes it's easy to let that one just.
And we now have, through the KW referral network, if you're not using this is a huge tool for you to get engaged in. We have 102 pending inbound referrals right now that equal it's like $28.5 million in potential volume, which equals over $900,000 in gross commission income that's sitting out there that you guys have the opportunity to receive because you've built referral relationships and accepted referrals. Now, are some of those referrals 6-9 months out? Yeah, some of them can be. The majority of them, when I look at the referrals that have been received in this office, are between 1 and 4 months out. So $900,000 in your pocket is what you guys have started to bring in through that referral network. So just keep on it. And if you haven't built it yet, go and add 3 agents from every single market center in the country. Because if you go and do just that one thing, you'll start to get referrals. Because there's still a lot of people moving to Central Texas from other parts of the country. Maybe not necessarily in Oshkosh, but from other major metropolitan areas. Any other? Yeah, Stephanie.
So, like last week, we got 3 different opportunities for referrals from
Mhm.
Kelly. And the moment that I didn't even let it like go off before I clicked on it, went in to accept it, and the first 2 times, you accept the referral, and then you have to write why they should
Yeah.
use you. So I was typing out all this stuff, and by the time I got done, it said the referral was closed. It was accepted by someone else.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, I took too much time putting that information in there. So the 3rd time, I just hit accept it, didn't write anything in there, and then it still told me it had been accepted by someone else. And I was like, so how quickly? And it
So
doesn't
they did a
always
broadcast
be-
referral. What they did was a broadcast referral.
Okay.
And they probably sent it out to the maximum amount, which right now is 100 people they can send it out to. So,
Take 10 seconds.
what's that?
10 seconds.
Yeah, it can be accepted by someone in 10 seconds. If they're not really looking to interview somebody and they just want somebody to accept it. So there are going to be times where that information and putting why they should accept you is important, in which case what I would do is, if you have a notes feature on your phone, just go ahead and write out something that you can just copy and paste and send. If you can get that done in 30 seconds, you've probably got good odds. In 10 seconds, they weren't really interested in knowing about you. They just wanted to connect with somebody.
So when it says anonymous agent, that's basically what they're doing. Is they're just sending out a broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
correct. So why it's still important to build, like, one of the best practices I would say is if you're going to add somebody to your referral network, send them at the very least an email and say, hey, I just sent you a request in the Kelly network, in the referral network, to connect with you through referrals. Here's some things that I've accomplished in my career. I've done these things through Keller Williams, and I look forward to connecting with you for referrals. And as always, I'm happy to return the favor when I have somebody moving to your area. If you take 30 seconds to copy and paste that email, it's going to be more than everyone else is going to do, because everyone else is just going to add. Is that going to be beneficial? Yes, it's going to do some, but it's just like going out and knocking on 100 doors and praying that nobody answers. This is being more intentional, of saying, I'm going to knock on 100 doors today, and you know what? I'm going to have a positive feeling that somebody's going to answer, and I'm going to have something of value to provide them. Not just knock on the door, hey, how's it going? I sell real estate, bye. No, I sell real estate, and here's what I do for the community. So, adding that extra stuff. Any other questions about that? All right, I want to talk about MUD disclosure notices. So recently here in the Austin area, I know that these MUD disclosure notices can be a pain in the butt, and that compliance is really, really difficult on them. Here's the reason why we are so difficult on them. There was a transaction in Lake Travis, and let's say that the price was $1.6 million that the home was under contract for. And a MUD disclosure notice was required. Well, we know that the MUD disclosure notice is something that needs to be given when? Really needs to be given on the front end of the transaction so that they have knowledge about the MUD district that they're in. Well, title companies sometimes beg to differ and say, hey, we're going to go ahead and get that at closing. We'll take care of it then. Don't fall for that, because in this case, that's what was fallen for. Turns out that these people who were under contract for this $1.6 million house were looking to find a way out of the contract. Their option period had ended. They really had nothing else that would prevent them from purchasing the home. And they ended up finding an attorney who said, I think you have an out. You haven't received the MUD disclosure notice. And on the closing day, they exercised their ability to get out of the contract because the fact that they were in a MUD and that notice had not been provided to them. $1.6 million house. It's not the easiest thing to get under contract, even in the best market. So it ended up costing that one client $160,000 because they had to put their house back up on the market. They were not able to get that full $1.6 million price they had it under contract for. And then the people wanted a substantial amount of furniture thrown in as well. And so it ended up costing that individual over $160,000 because that notice was not disclosed on the front end of the transaction. This is why we are sticklers about having things like that in your transaction on the front end of it, because had this individual not been a nice person, they could have very well sued their agent for not informing them that that was something that needed to be done per the contract, and they chose not to do that. So it can cost $160,000 if you don't have a piece of paper in your file. So make sure you have it. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a listing right now. I just got an offer in yesterday, and I had this Clearwater Mud District on the documents.
Okay.
He did not send it with the offer, so should I go back and send it to him and say, get this signed?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah. And I promise you at closing, the title company is going to have them do it again. That's fine. Do it on the front end as well. Yeah. Diane.
Well, if you go to your tax notice,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the appraisal district, you can find out all the taxing entities to determine if you need the Upper Brushy Creek or any Bud.
Yeah. And the best place to still get those notices is from the title company.
Right.
Reach out to the title company and say, hey, I've got a property that is in Mud District number 15 in Terra Vista. I think that's where Mud 15 is. Can you send me a copy of that notice? And they'll gladly send you the notice, in which case you get your seller to sign it and upload it into the MLS as well so that it's already there, so that everyone has it. And if they send an offer to you without sending that notice as well, just send them the notice and say, hey, if you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and get copies of get signatures on this copy as well, because it really does protect you on the front end. Yeah, Stephanie.
In our area,
Mm-hmm.
on the Clearwater.
Okay.
Because it specifically talks about wells. And I've had agents actually say, I'm not going to have my buyer sign this because there's not a well on the property, so it's not required. But in our Bell CAD, I always look to see if it's WCID number 6 or if it's Clearwater. And I always upload those into the MLS. So my question is, if I have sent it to the agent, but the buyer will not sign it, is just a simple act of me sharing it with the agent show that we have given it to the buyer?
You can hire an attorney to argue either. What I would say is that the agent is probably not informed about the fact that it's protecting them, and we would have, we should have a conversation about why it's important to go ahead and do it, and if they choose not to do it at that point in time, you have had your sellers sign it, and if you've done everything in your power to get them signed and you have documentation of that, I think you'll be fine.
We sell in the same area, and we've had pushback also, and as soon as I educate them, and I go back to your Bellcad, look at it, you see there's a tax, our office requires us notifying the buyer that there is a tax on it. It's $3, but.
And you've done that?
Yes, they've always signed it.
But I've had some that are like, my buyer's not gonna sign that. So what I wanted to make sure of in asking that question was that if the buyer came back later and said, oh, by the way, I wanna terminate based on this paragraph, but yet I have already shared it and I have email communication showing that we have shared it, we're asking them to sign it, and you said they wouldn't, do they still have an out based on that paragraph?
I think it would still fall under who wants to pay the attorney more,
Okay.
truthfully. Ideally, you get it signed. Everyone agrees to sign it up front, and unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, and we don't have people who are completely educated about why it's important for their client to sign something like that.
Could
Yeah.
you have ask the other agent to have their client sign an acknowledgement that they have refused to sign it?
You could do that, yeah. Just like with the information about brokerage services. If you don't want to initial it, that's fine. Could you just initial here at the top saying that you're not going to initial it? You can go ahead and write that. I will not initial this, and then just initial right there. Because why do we have the information about brokerage services? We have an obligation to show them the minimum standards of practice that we as an agent have to provide. It doesn't actually have to be signed. It doesn't actually have to be initialed. We just have to prove that they saw it. What's the best way to prove they saw it? Get them to initial it. Exactly. And then through .loop, if they really push back and say that they're not going to sign it and they're not going to do that, you can send it to them through .loop, and as soon as they open it, it gives us an electronic record showing that they have seen it. So, yeah. Any other questions about MUD disclosures and why they're important? Anything else? Yeah, yeah.
The only place to get the disclosure from the title company?
Well, no, there's some out there that are available online. The title, yeah, go ahead.
I called them then.
Yeah.
I'll Google the MUD and MUD number, and then I call them.
And if you can actually get a hold of the MUD, it works perfectly. Some of them you can't get a hold of, in which case the best place would still be the title company. You can't necessarily depend upon the ones that are out there online because these MUDs do change a lot, and some of the things that are disclosed in there can change from time to time, and the title companies are pretty up to date on most of them. Yeah.
So the tax record is the first place you look?
Tax record's the first place you're going to want to look to see if it's in a MUD or not. Because that's going to be accurate, and it's also going to show you which MUD it's part of. Yeah.
That Upper Brushy Creek is just as important because
Yeah.
they could become a taxi entity.
Correct.
If they're not, if they're located in that.
They are taxing right now.
But there are a
It's-
few that aren't being taxed. It's just.
Yeah. It's a very minimal tax, but it is a tax. Yeah. All right. Anything else anyone sees going on they want to talk about?
Has anybody dealt with VA and the appraiser has turned into the lender? It's a term called tidal wave or tidewater. Has anybody dealt with that?
Well, no. Last week we kind of are close to having tidewaters here in Central Texas,
And
but
that's what I thought it was. I thought, what in the world are they talking about? Well, it's basically the appraiser called me and said, send me your market analysis. I said, well, you haven't gone to the property yet. No, I want all of this. This was the appraiser's assistant, Ozzy. He wanted all of the information from me. He said, I'm just gathering information for the appraiser. And so we sent him all kinds of things. And that he already yelled tide wave, tidewater, before he even went to the property. And
What does that mean?
did he want the tidewater disclosure?
no, he just they call it tidewater whenever they don't have any comps, they say.
Huh.
Well, there was plenty
It's when
of
they
comps.
can't find something to justify it.
Got it.
They call Tidewater, and so what she's saying is that
So you had heard of it?
I've heard of it. I have not
I
dealt
have never
with it
seen it
personally.
before. So,
It's a lot more applicable in other areas.
Really?
Yes,
So
I see a lot more. Of
if
it
they
on, like,
can't
those
find
pages.
comps, they'll call it tidewater.
Those pages on Facebook, I see it a lot. Whenever I'm
I
not
have,
referred
I've
to
had
as
it happen
help.
on the VA line.
so something
I'm gonna
we
have
need
to
be
look at
educated on.
that.
I had taken a VA class and it wasn't mentioned, so.
When they invoke Tidewater, usually it's before the full appraisal has been completed and they contact the bank or the agent and say, hey, we're having trouble meeting comps on this and we're invoking Tidewater. And so, and then that gives you the opportunity to give them comps to help justify why you priced it or why the offer was accepted where it is. We had an appraiser 2 weeks ago that did not invoke Tidewater on a duplex in Temple and came in $27,000 under. And I actually, luckily the lender allowed us to appeal even though he did not invoke Tidewater. He
Yeah.
sent in his final report as if it were done.
So does Tidewater extend the time?
So the almighty Google tells me this.
The time days to get the comps back over to him. Some appraisers will only give you 24 hours, but we had 5 days to get the comps back over to him. And whole written, appeal, part of it was, cause I had spoken with Bill Jones, and Bill was like, this is incompetent.
Who's Bill Jones?
Bill Jones. Bill Jones.
the attorney.
Yes.
I thought she said Phil.
If you're $27,000 under, he said that appraiser should have called you and asked you if you were an idiot. Because how can you
That sounds like Bill.
Ah,
you know, from what you were selling it for versus, and we had comps, and we even have 2 other properties that had appraised out just 2 streets down.
Yeah.
that were duplexes. So when they invoke Tidewater, that just means that they're having problems meeting value, but they can't tell you how far off it is. We just got lucky because he'd already submitted the appraisal.
So here's what it says according to Google on the almighty Wikipedia. No, I'm just kidding, not Wikipedia. It says the Tidewater process has been in existence since 2003, but was just reaffirmed by the VA on July 19th, 2017. This was updated in the VA circular 26-17-18, which describes procedures for improving communication with appraisers. So the main purpose of this procedure is to allow and improve the communication during the VA appraisal process. Additionally, since the Tidewater initiative happens prior to finalizing the appraisal report, it limits the amount of requests for appraisal rebuttals. Conversely, appraisal rebuttals occur after the appraisal is turned in. So at least Tidewater gives interested parties an opportunity to provide information prior to appraisal completion.
so it's
Is
not a
that
bad
just for
thing.
VAs?
It's not really a bad
It's
thing.
just for
It really
VAs.
doesn't help that. Well, so, he went out
And-
there and I said to him, you didn't call me. And he said, oh, I don't like to have the realtor, letting me in because I don't like to communicate. I don't like it to influence my price. So it's contradictory. I mean, 2 or 3 different people I talked to in that process all said something different.
Yeah, so here's what Bill Vernon just texted me and said that he's had experience with this as well. He said, you have to do paperwork to fight it, and you have a limited amount of time to do so. So when did it happen? Did it happen
Friday.
Friday?
They called on Thursday, we sent it to them on Friday, they told the, lender that, they hadn't heard from me. So,
Got it.
I mean, I just think they can pull all kinds of stunts, and there's, yeah, okay, anyway. Have to watch it.
Yeah. I would. Do you have the right to request a different appraiser?
On VA, maybe, I'll have to check on that.
I think you may on a VA loan. You may want to request a different appraiser to go out.
Mhm.
All right.
I don't
Any?
know if I do that, or the listing, or the buyer's agent does
I think
that.
you can request that the lender does that.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Anything else for risk management? All right. Let's jump right on into our team meeting then. So, how many of you guys have bought a lottery ticket for tonight?
My husband's supposed to be doing it right now.
So, yeah, a couple of you. Did you know if you win both jackpots tonight, it's like $2.6 million or $1 billion now? So, I wanted to read you guys. Yeah, the chances are 1 in like a trillion. What's that?
Just text me to me.
Yeah, 1 quadrillion. Yeah, something like that.
Are you proposing a pot?
Sure. No, we're not in Colorado, so I'm not proposing pot. No. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you're talking about. Or Canada now. So I want to read you a real quick story. The president of Harvard made a mistake by prejudging people, and it cost him dearly. A lady in a faded gingham dress and her husband, dressed in a homespun, threadbare suit, stepped off the train in Boston and walked timidly without an appointment into the president's outer office. The secretary could tell in a moment that such backwoods country hicks had no business at Harvard and probably didn't even deserve to be in Cambridge. She frowned. "We want to see the president," the man said softly. "He'll be busy all day," the secretary snapped. "We'll wait," the lady replied. For hours, the secretary ignored them, hoping that the couple would finally become discouraged and go away. They didn't, and the secretary grew frustrated and finally decided to disturb the president, even though it was a chore she regretted doing. "Maybe if they just see you for a few minutes, they'll leave," she told him. And he sighed in exasperation and nodded. Someone of his importance obviously didn't have the time to spend with them, but he detested gingham dresses and homespun suits cluttering up his outer office. The president, stern-faced with dignity, strutted toward the couple. The lady told him, "We had a son that attended Harvard for 1 year. He loved Harvard. He was happy here. But about a year ago, he was accidentally killed. And my husband and I would like to erect a memorial to him somewhere on campus." The president wasn't touched. He was shocked. "Madam," he said gruffly, "we can't put up a statue for every person who attended Harvard and died. If we did, this place would look like a cemetery." "Oh, no, no, no," the lady quickly exclaimed. "We don't want to erect a statue. We thought we would like to give a building to Harvard." The president rolled his eyes. He glanced at the gingham dress and homespun suit, then exclaimed, "A building? Do you have any earthly idea how much a building costs? We have over $7.5 million in the physical plant at Harvard." For a moment, the lady was silent. The president was pleased. He could get rid of them now. And the lady turned to her husband and said quietly, "Is that all it costs to start a university?" "Why don't we just start our own?" Her husband nodded. The president's face wilted in confusion and bewilderment, and Mr. and Mrs. Leland Stanford walked away, traveling to Palo Alto, California, where they established the university that bears their name, a memorial to a son that Harvard no longer cared about. So the moral of the story is, tonight after you win the lottery, go and put on the worst clothes you have and see what people really think about you. No, I wanted to share that with you because I heard that in a leadership event that I was at, and so many times we're guilty of it, even though we don't intend to do it. We don't know what's going on in that person's life. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know why they put on the outfit that they put on that day. Yet, there can be huge opportunities in every single conversation. Maybe it's the opportunity that we have to make an impact on their life that day by just saying, "Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. What's going on in life?" Or maybe it's that they have something that they just want to share. And we have that opportunity every single day. So I wanted to give us all the opportunity right now to share a little bit of gratitude. So I've got handwritten notes right here. And I've got envelopes, so you guys choose anyone that you want to write a note to, and then just drop it off at Donna's desk, and we'll put a stamp on it and send it on your behalf. But yeah, go ahead and just take a note. Take about 5 minutes. Go ahead and write to someone, and then we'll keep going. Here, take one and pass it down. Here's one more. Yeah, I'll go.
I've done a couple this morning.
Anyone else need one? You got it. You got it.
I did 3 yesterday.
All right, y'all about done? Perfect. And like I said, you can just drop them off at the front desk with Donna, and she'll put a stamp on it for all of us. All right, Laura, you got an announcement for us you'd like to share, right?
Yes.
Come on up. I want everyone in TV land to be able to see you too. Yeah.
I just wanted to announce that, I think that's probably my phone, but I wanted to announce that I'm helping Dina with the toy drive this year for the Fort Hood guys. So I will be bringing a flyer next week and dropping off a box for collection. So anyway, just be prepared, and I'll get some flyers emailed out and post them on the Facebook if you want to use those flyers to pass along to your clients and friends so we can get toys donated. I want to get started early so that we can collect a lot. So,
It's a great door knocking opportunity.
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for
Alright.
doing that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Absolutely. Yay.
All right, Kristen, take it away. Tell us what you got.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to fix this thing. I'm not great at it. Okay, so good morning. How's everyone today? Good. Do you learn a lot in risk management? Yay, good. Okay. I just wanted to give a quick update, make sure I'm on, yes, on Ignite. So we had started Ignite the beginning of October, the second week of October. It's going really well. Yesterday we just finished up a wonderful session on how to work with your buyer. So that's going to be your buyer contracts or your buyer consultations, which I know that you are all doing and getting your buyer's representation agreement signed. Today, I think we are doing find and show homes. So for those of you who are kind of new looking at how do I find homes, what are the right homes, how do I look for them, how do I advise my clients in terms of what they should be looking for and be prepared for when they're out there looking, this is a great class. And then I know Stephanie is also teaching on, so Kathy Armstrong is teaching today, and then Stephanie is teaching, or I'm sorry, tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. And then Friday, Stephanie is teaching, working on, Stephanie, what is the one that you're doing on Friday? Preparing the offer. That's right, preparing the offer. So if you need an update or a refresher on how to prepare an offer, write an offer, you can come to Friday's Ignite. Also, Thursday, we are working on, from 1 to 2, is Master Your CMA. So if you need a refresher or maybe you want to see how other people complete a CMA, you're welcome to come to that class. Right after that, we're going to do mock negotiations and offers. So we're going to write the 1 to 4, and then y'all are going to use scenarios and negotiate with one another. So it's a great way for you to maybe get some new tips and tricks. The market is shifting, so how do we write an offer in a shifting market? What does that look like? How do we negotiate an offer in a shifting market? So that's a great one. Today at 1 o'clock, we are doing Master Your CGI, which is Career Growth Initiative. How many of us have our CGI goals done for 2019 so far? All right. That's not even a quarter of us, so we got to work on that. So
It's easy to do it. All you got to do is go to Kelly, say CGI, and as soon as you do that, it's going to pull up the CGI calculator. You can put your goals in.
And you can come to the class today from 1 to 2, and we'll show you how to do that. We'll get you logged in. And then from 2 to 3 is Master Your Pipeline. And your pipeline is ultimately your database. So we're going to be teaching you how to, one, use the Career Growth Initiative tool, which is the pipeline tool to help you keep track of your pipeline and your database. And then also kind of talk to you about what is a database, what can I mine for, how can I put this together so I can be successful. So ultimately the goal is to have enough training on this calendar that there's something for everyone. I know that we're all really comfortable in the jobs that we do, and there's always, new ways and exciting ways to kind of refresh what we're doing, make sure we're up to date, especially when the market is shifting. So I'd love to see more of you attend classes. They'll continue on and on. So we have Ignite through October. It starts again November 6th. Will be the kickoff, the blast off for Ignite again. So if you'd like to take it, it's not just for new agents. It's really foundational stuff. So if you're looking to reinvent yourself, also a good thing to show up to. So yeah, I'm excited. It's
Good.
going really well. Anybody have any feedback who's attending Ignite? I won't look, just in case you. I'm not pointing one out.
Great.
Yes.
It really has.
Good.
Thank you.
Really good material, taught really well, very easy, so very appropriate.
Thank you. You do get the binder of materials when you attend Ignite, so it has all of your missions, homeworks. It has a great script book for those of you who need just to warm up on some of those scripts. So absolutely come and visit me in my office, or Lauren. We have those available and can get you kind of the direction you need to go in terms of attending classes. So, and then definitely take a look at that training calendar. We have something for you every day. So yay.
Good. And then I want to talk to you about something that I want you to put on your calendar right now. It's on January 8th. It's going to be an all-day event. January 8th. What's that?
Elvis's birthday.
Yes, we are celebrating Elvis's birthday. That's exactly what we're doing that day. So I want you to come dressed in your sequins. And we're going to have a little costume contest. No, I'm kidding. We're not doing that. It's going to be over at the City Lights Theater here in Georgetown. We've rented out the theater for the entire day. This is an event that Judy Dawson has inspired me to do because she took me up to Plano last year when they did it in the Plano Market Center. It's called Great by Choice. And what we're going to be doing is bringing in people who specialize in different things from all over the country. One gentleman that's going to be coming and joining us, he's from Utah. He's going to be coming and talking to us about how to really, really just dominate your database. And he'll be speaking for about an hour and a half that day on things that he's doing in Utah in his area. He's actually another MAPS coach. He's got like 50 clients that he's the coach for through MAPS right now. And he's also got a business where him and his team are doing upwards of $70 million a year through their database alone, and he's going to share with us the strategies and things that they've been utilizing to make that happen. And then I wanted to open it up for you guys as well. If there's anything else that you want to learn about that day, let us know, and we will find people who are achieving and working through their business to achieve success at a really high level, that they can come and share with you what they're doing in their businesses. And we don't want just people from Austin. I mean, I'd love to have some people from Dallas and some people from other parts of the country that will come in and share with us that day. So you just let us know what you want to see, and we'll work to bring the people in who can come and share with us that day. And Judy, is there anything else you want to add about what that event did for you as a productivity coach at the time, right?
Well, I tell you what it did for our office.
Yeah.
We did not create this event. I was invited to go to the event for Flower Mound Market Center, which was a 4-day event, if you can believe it, giving agents to commit 4 days. We never could do that in our market center, but they did it. And it was really life-changing for the market center. It was life-changing for the agents who attended. If you walk away with just one thing that you can apply and change your business, and it would be a day well worth being there. And also, what we saw is we were able to come together as a market center and clearly define where we as a team wanted to go, which is $1 billion at that time. This was several years ago. And we realized we couldn't do that in 1 year. So we knew we had to do that strategically over a 3-year plan.
Yeah.
And so that involved each one of us, from the newest agent to the most prolific agent, going above and beyond what, even on this CDI, whatever it is, XYZ, Keller Williams has so many initials.
Yes,
but
we do.
anyway, going beyond what you think you can do for the team. This is for the team. And so what we did is we took that day and then we extrapolated it to quarterly functions. And it was amazing to see the production done from the new agents to the most experienced, and we compared them to the ones who didn't attend. And the matrix were astounding.
Yeah.
And each year it grew bigger and bigger. Denton Guam is a good example of that.
Absolutely.
He started, absorbing what Scott would bring in or our team leader would bring in. So I can't encourage y'all enough to reserve this day. You think the whole day, Scott, really? Really. It's a whole day of phenomenal and challenging growth.
Yeah.
For all of us. And I'm looking forward. I'm so thankful, Scott, that you're committed to do this.
Hey, I enjoyed it last year, and I know that it'll bring a lot of value. And now that it's on not Avis's birthday, Elvis's birthday, you know, maybe we'll have a little fun with that too. I special ordered fried peanut butter and jelly or banana sandwiches for that whole day. So thank you for sharing that with us. So you mentioned the shift a little bit ago, and I want to talk to you real quick about shift tactic number 1 in the shift book, which can be found on page number 23.
Can I
if
butt
you're
in real quick?
interested in reading it
Can
later.
I jump
Yeah,
in real
please.
quick? I forgot one really important,
what'd you
really
forget?
important class. Never Ending Referrals starts
Oh,
Thursday.
Yeah, you did forget that.
Yes. And that if there is one thing that you absolutely are at this week, be it Never Ending Referrals. It's Thursday morning from 9 a.m. to 11. And that's going to really teach you how to work your database. It's our goal here in the Market Center to get you to nurture your database at least 40 times a year, 40 times a year. And to do that will increase your production. Who wants increased production? Yes, everyone in the room, I know, even if you didn't raise your hand, because that's why we're here. So we want to build the relationships, and Never Ending Referrals is going to teach you how to do that. So please be there Thursday morning. And then, or here, it may be in this room like this, and that's okay. So you can just come by and sit if you're not sure what it's about. And then lastly, if there is something, much like Scott is asking for the 8th of January, if there is a class or, you know, a topic that you want to learn or know or just want a refresher on, let me know, or Scott or any of the staff, and we'd be happy to implement something for you. We're constantly looking for new things to bring you in the office. It's going to bring value to you. So please, we're open to that.
Oh, and one other thing. Anytime you have an interaction with one of our leadership team members and they don't give you a card that asks how they're doing, I need you to come and let me know, because customer service is always very, very important to us, and we want to be asking you how we're doing all the time, because we just want to keep doing better and better and better, and we can't do that if we don't inspect the results that we're currently getting. So you're going to get a lot of cards over the next month and a half or so, and it's our opportunity for us to reflect as we go into the beginning of the year on our opportunities for growth within our team. So make sure that if you don't get one, you come and see me, and I'll give you one for whoever it is that you just interacted with, and I should be giving them to you as well. So if I don't give you one, ask for one. All right? All right, so let's go into shift then. Tactic number 1 on page number 23. It's called Get Real, Get Right, Mindset and Action. And in order for, as Kristen talked about Never Ending Referrals a little bit ago, if you're working with your database and you're reaching out to them 40 times a year, is the shift going to matter to you? No, it's not going to have as big of an impact on it as if it would if you're not reaching out to your people and having conversations with them. So it's really, the majority of a shift is right here in your mindset. So it says in here, I believe that your life will either be about your problems or your opportunities. You'll either be running away from something or running towards something. It's your call. To survive a shift, you must first make the mental shift to run towards what you most want and avoid the temptation of running away from what you most fear. One approach lifts you up, the other drags you down. You must keep both eyes on your target and not the ever-moving market. Remember that success is never about the chosen few, but always about the few who choose. You get to choose, and your life builds from there. There are 3 types of people who emerge when a market shifts. First, those that fearfully predict the worst and are unnecessarily pessimistic. Second, those who hopefully wish for the best, but believe they can't fail and are unrealistically positive. And third, those who respect the fact that they might fail, actively prepare for the worst, and strive for the best. These are the resourcefully realistic and are always the timely triumphant. So which one do we want to be? We want to be number 3. How do we become number 3? What's that?
Be educated, be knowledgeable.
Education, yeah, absolutely. How else?
Work your database.
Work your database. All right, how else? What was that? Repeated yours, okay. What else?
Be willing to change.
Be willing to change, all right. What else?
Grab market share.
Grab market share. And how do we grab market share? No, go ahead.
Stay positive.
Stay positive. How else do we grab market share?
Top of mind.
Be top of mind. And how do we do that? Through our database, stay in contact. Anything else? Reflection.
Being honest with ourselves about what we're doing and what we could be doing better.
Well, and being honest with ourselves about what's really going on in the market, right? Because how many sellers out there are choosing not to be honest with themselves about what's really going on in the market? How many have ever been through a shift before? Okay, so about half the room, if I had to say. And what were some of the conversations that you had to have like then for people who were unrealistic with what the market was actually doing? We had to show them numbers, right?
I think when you get a downward shift
Yeah.
in price, that's when the termination and expires become really important. Don't delete those when you're doing your CMA. You should show those.
Yeah.
Because that number is going up, so that's a good indicator.
Correct. And, I mean, is the news media out there saying that the market's really good still? Yeah, for the most part, the news media is out there saying that the market's great, which means that the perception of the general public when we're sitting down with them on a listing appointment is what? Oh, I can put a sign in my yard and sell my house in 30 minutes. Yeah.
I went to meet with some clients to present an offer. It's slow, it's a long story, but it was so neat. The wife opened up the paper. I thought it was New York Times, I'm not sure. And it did say there was a slump in the housing market.
Yes.
And she said, "This is just what you were telling us." I don't think
Was it on the front page, though?
No.
No, exactly. I mean, it's like the second page of the newspaper is like the second page of Google. I mean, you might as well just bury a dead body there, right?
Yeah.
So there are things that we can do to be ahead of what's going on, and being willing to have those conversations with people about what the market is actually doing, and getting used to and preparing with. How many have taken bold before? Okay, the listing presentation in bold. How many of you have actually used that listing presentation? Okay, good. We've got one person out of everyone in here that's actually used it. That presentation was really put together in 2009, and what was going on in 2009? We were rebounding from a really bad market, right? We're starting to rebound in some places. Now, I don't think that the market's going to be terrible to us at all. There's a lot of opportunity in a market that levels off a little bit. And we're not seeing a drastic downfall in prices. We're seeing a slow uptick in interest rates and a leveling off a little bit of prices, which in a perfect world, that's what would happen because things stabilize. In 2007, did things stabilize? No, they fell off the face of the earth. And I was in California at that point in time, and I got to watch it all happen around me. There were entire neighborhoods in San Bernardino, California, where, well, not the entire neighborhood, 3/4 of the neighborhoods were just foreclosed upon. And that is why KB Homes has a negative reputation, because in California, in the San Bernardino area, they had huge communities that were where almost the entire population of that community was foreclosed upon. And it was because of bad lending practices and giving people homes that they couldn't really afford. And, you know, if you could fog a mirror, you could buy a house. What was that?
Countrywide mortgage.
Countrywide mortgage, exactly. So it's not going to be like that this time, because there have been so many things put into place that have a positive impact on what the mortgage industry can do. And we've kind of created more checks and balances now. And we know that interest rates are slowly rising. According to the federal government, they'd like to see interest rates statistically in a healthy market right around between 6 and 7%. Well, they're locking people in right now at 5.25% for some places. And others, I mean, I've heard rates out there of 5.8%. So encourage your people to do their homework on what they can afford, and know that as interest rates go up, affordability goes down a little bit. For each 1% interest rate increase, what does the affordability factor go down? It goes down by 11%. For each 1% that the interest rate goes up, their affordability goes down by 11%. So, yeah.
This is laying over here.
Yeah.
It's an interest rate table.
An interest rate table over the past 30 years. Nick Pronsky actually left that here this morning. It says that the average interest rate over the past 30 years was 8.6%. if we were to take the average. Obviously, that does include the 1980s where we saw interest rates in the 18% range. And 21% for some places. Yet it gives us an average. And we're still well below what the average of 8.6 is, with being right at about 5% right now. So does anyone have any questions about that? Good. All right. It all starts right here. Just remember that. So with that being said, does anyone have a new listing they want to tell us about that they priced right? No, we don't have any new. Yeah, go ahead. Please. Virginia, go ahead.
Well, it's funny you said that. I have one in Buttercup Creek, because when I work with seniors, we often do a listing and it takes several months to finish cleaning out the house.
Yeah.
And then I always say we will review the pricing. We priced it August the 3rd at $307. Today when I go back to meet with them, we're going to say we really need to be more at the 300 mark. But anyway, it's coming, will come up in the next couple of weeks. And Buttercup Creek, probably it's 3 or 4 bedroom. If you have anyone who in that area and wants a nice greenhouse and 2 nice storage buildings, one with electricity, so it's a workshop, let me know. It will be coming on the market. So somewhere, hopefully around 300.
Great. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. Jennifer.
So I have a new listing in Summerlin, which is Leander, just right outside Liberty.
Nice neighborhood.
2-story, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 2671 square feet, and we've got it at
327.5 in Summerlin.
Yes.
Okay.
It's below what that same floor plan is in the rest of the neighborhood. It's quite a bit below in the price per square foot. It does need new paint, and it could use some new carpet upstairs.
Okay. Good. Anyone else? Yeah.
We had lunch. We haven't been here in a while, so I'm just going to.
Well, welcome back. It's good to see you again.
I'd like to move for y'all. It's out in Spears Ranch, out in Jarrell. It sits on a little over 12 acres. It's about a 3,400 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, granite in the kitchen. It's got an indoor pool. It's got a storm shelter. It's an amazing house. They priced it at $550, and it's ready for a buyer. It's in-ground pool. Sorry, not indoor. It's an in-ground pool. It's got a guest suite upstairs, which is the 4th bedroom, but it's got its own private area for sitting. It's got its own bath. It's got a door to the top where it can be completely private with a patio that overlooks the pool. So it's a good deal. So bring your people.
All right. Anyone else? Yeah, Megan.
Another one like that. It's been a little while since I've been here. County Road 231 in Florence. This is a listing that Brad Adams and I have together. It's 30 acres along with a 1,700 square foot 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Also has a barn with electricity and water, and then a 3-car garage / workshop. Lots of trees, very much park-like, lots of wildlife. It's listed at 509.
Okay.
Had lots of showings.
Good.
I'd love to work with one of y'all.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm announcing
Yeah.
one for Jeff Thompson. He's got one coming in Churchill Farms, going
Okay.
live tonight. It's at 309 Thunder Bay, 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story, 2,300 square feet for $229,900. Set his price to sell. It's going
All right.
live tonight.
Okay. Anyone else?
I have
Yeah.
kind of an old, I have a listing that's been on the market about 4 months now. Some of you may have went out on the tour. It's out on Miller Hill Road, about 6 miles east of town. Beautiful, beautiful house. It's 20 years old, but it was totally renovated this last year, remodeled. Open floor plan, everything white, bright. You walk in, you just see the backyard. It's all windows and doors. It's $519, but it's got 11.3 acres, and it is in ag exemption. Gorgeous home. I am personally offering a $500 bonus to the buyer. So somebody bring me a buyer.
Where's this?
I've got flyers. I'll give you one. It's about 6 miles east of here. It's Georgetown School District.
Tell you what, I win the lottery tonight, I'll pay you double for it.
I'll tell you what. I want it so bad. No.
Anyone else? All right, how about buyer needs?
Do we need price reduction?
Yeah, price improvements. Yes.
Okay. Speaking of shift and so on, I have a house that's been on the market quite a while in Sun City. It is one of the original homes, so it's 2,800 square feet, so it's a large home with a 3-car with 2-car and golf cart garage. It's in good condition. It needs updating, and we bit the bullet, and it's at $350. And please bring us a buyer. We need someone who wants a house that you know, I wanna make it what I want, what kind of granite, what kind of flooring I want, what light fixtures.
What does it back up to?
Another house, the big trees between, but it's not on the green belt, that's part of it.
Okay. Any other price improvements? Buyer needs?
I did a price improvement on my listing at 329 Cedar Lake. It
Yeah.
went down to 300.
300. All right. Okay.
3,200 square feet.
How much activity have you had since you dropped it?
What was that?
How much activity have you had since you dropped it?
I've had, yeah, it's picked up.
So
Okay.
single or?
Two-story.
Two-story.
It's got a pool. It's a
Square feet,
big house.
Interior, moving ready now. Interior paint done, flooring done, and all that.
Okay. All right.
Buyer need for Tom Catlin, Georgetown East, a single story, somewhere around 225,000. So if you got that, let Tom know.
Thought that said 125,000. I was gonna say that's adorable.
A unicorn.
Yeah,
We call
exactly.
that a unicorn.
All right. So no more buyer needs. Perfect. Is our sponsor back there? Bring him on up. Come on up.
Hey,
How you doing?
good.
Thanks for being here.
Hey. Good to see you.
Tell us about yourself.
How you doing? Jimmy Warren.
Scott Tolar.
Nice
to
to
meet you.
Scott. Scott, I got John here. My name is Jimmy Warren. I'm with Grand Endeavor Homes. This is John, Grand Endeavor Homes.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. Obviously, we got lunch. We brought Chipotle, so don't know if y'all are tired of that or had enough of it, but that's what we brought. So it's good food. So Grand Endeavor Homes, we've been in business for about 4 years now. It's owned by Jimmy Jacobs. So Jimmy Jacobs Custom Homes, obviously you guys know, sold 6, 7 years ago. He was on a 2-year non-compete, and we're back at it again. So he's kind of getting the gang back together, and both of us, John and I, and a lot of us that currently work at Grand Endeavor worked with Jimmy back when it was Jimmy Jacobs Custom Homes. So Jimmy's rated #1 custom home builder in Austin's Business Journal right now. So and by volume, we should get 1 or 2 spot this year. We're currently doing about 60 homes a year. We're on track to hit right about 60 this year. Next year, obviously hoping for more. But we worked with a lot of you guys in here already. We've got some clients. We like to pay you. We like referrals, and we compensate for that.
Well, you're in luck because we like to get paid. So.
I know y'all
Yeah.
like to get paid. And I do like that, right? So we typically do it on the building lot side of it, on the customs. You know, I know most of you guys would, if you take it to a custom home builder, you kind of usually have to wait till it's finished. But on the custom side, the building lot side, we pay you at slab pour. So slab pour is done, send in your DA, we get you paid. So it's not too far out to wait for a paycheck. Love to help you. I've been doing building lots for 18 years. Worked with a few builders in the past. Obviously, Jimmy Jacobs one of them. Really good with clients. Really good taking them through the process. If you guys are tired of driving people around to 100 different houses and they're picky as all get out, bring them to me. I'll help them out. At least give me a shot at it. Just give me an opportunity. If they're looking at land, looking at lots, I like to go out and evaluate the land first before they buy. So I can tell them, hey, the do's and don'ts. So this lot's going to cost you this much more. This is why. Or this lot's a better deal value. This is why. You know, and this is how much you're going to get charged for utilities. This is how much power is going to. All those little things that your buyers may not know or may assume. You know, oh, it's only going to cost X amount. I get a lot of that. You know, I get folks that think it's going to be one thing. And, oh my gosh, PEC charges me 20 grand to run my power. Yeah. You know, let's get on that on the front end of it, right? So that's what we specialize in on the building lot side. John, he has Highland Oaks. He's done several neighborhoods for Grand Endeavor, and obviously John's worked for Grand Endeavor. So I'll let John speak to that.
Thanks. I recognize some familiar faces in here. I was over in Woodland Hills off of 3405 prior to Highland Oaks, so that sold out. We're done in there. The new gig is called Highland Oaks, and it's on Baghdad Road. So if you go to, some of you know where it's at, some of you don't. Baghdad Road, where Tom Glenn High School hits. You go north 3 miles, and we're on the left-hand side. So it's Liberty Hill Schools, tax rate's 2.1. We've got a park that's going in right behind us, right adjacent to us. It's 1,011 acres. It's called River Ranch Park. And they're starting construction on it here within the next 3 to 4 months. And that's going to have river access to San Gabriel River. We start from about 2,438 feet on an acre. That's at 428. And our model homes out there is furnished. Real nice looking model home. We've had real good success in the first phase. We're just starting the second phase. They're starting to pour the concrete for the curbs right now, like today. So we're going to have lots available for building in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So real good product. It's Jimmy's quality. All one-piece lumber, foam insulation all the way around. Real high-end finish out from the low 400s. Any questions or that you might have?
Any questions?
What's the model out there?
The model is 3,733 square feet. It's called a Sweetly, and it's comes in about 555, and that's the base house on an acre. By the time you're done, you're probably at about 600 with that house. I mean, you know, pretty nice.
It's a big house.
It's real wide open, real contemporary looking. Lots of windows. Jimmy's, you know, attention to detail. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
What are the amenities?
The amenities are the park that's going in next door, which we have nothing to do with. But I mean, it's Williamson County's putting in the park. It's 12 miles of hiking trails. It's river access. It's going to be a real nice package. But on an acre home site, it's kind of $50 a month, and that's to maintain the front entrance, make sure that stays neat and clean and mowed and watered. So it's a nice project. I live there. That's the only thing that I'm going to warn you about. I live there.
Be careful, guys.
And on the building lot side, I had a question earlier. I want to answer it. We start price range $200,000 and up on building lots. So that's not including the lot. It's not including utilities, hookups, and all that, those things like that. But we can build. I've built on little town lots in Burnet, Texas, little city lots, and I've built on hundreds of acres. You know, whatever they want to do. And,
What's the most expensive home you've got?
Most expensive, probably about 1.2, 1.3.
Okay.
Usually, if you got buyers up in the 2-3+ millions, probably not for us.
So they do it all.
Yeah, but we do it all. Yeah, and you know, we give them the most bang for the buck. So, you know, obviously we're doing 60 a year. We're not trying to put our kids through college on your client's house, right? So we'll make a little money off them, make them happy, get referrals on them. We'll go to the next one. So,
good.
Appreciate y'all's time. Thank
all right,
you.
give it up for them.
Thank you. Here's some of my cards too.
All right, well that's all we got today. Yeah.
Food is in the front conference room.
Okay.
And the food is in one, and then the chips are in another one.
Perfect.
So we'll just kind of come in and go around the round table and come back out. I think that'll work best.
Perfect. All right, y'all have a good day. We'll see y'all later.